Yeah, I mean, as Mike said, the March manufacturing ISM, the best in 38 years. And then underneath the surface, it's new orders and production, best level since 2004. Backlog also very, very nice. So manufacturing is absolutely humming. You actually don't need an infrastructure bill, I don't think. So my point is, if you add infrastructure on top of the great data that we're getting, you're going to really see us almost like a super cycle in industrials, in manufacturing, in commodities. And I think that's really why you want to have exposure. These stocks, industrials, for example, have outperformed the technology sector. Industrials are up 11% on the year. Energy is up 33%. The financials are up 16%, and tech is up 3.75%. So is it a little bit of mean reversion today and yesterday? Certainly. They came down really far, really fast. You want to have exposure to technology, but you also want to have exposure to some of the parts of the economy that are really going to benefit as we get more and more stimulus into the system, and we see a little more inflation, a little higher interest rates. By the way, Caterpillar just, there's a rumor out there that Caterpillar is going to raise pricing across the board. That's also a very powerful theme for the industrial sector and for the cyclical sector. There's been all kinds of supply chain disruptions, and on top of that, you have better demand. And so you're going to see pricing power in these sectors, in my opinion.
Yeah, for consumer stocks as well. Micron shares are rallying today after an earnings beat and a bullish outlook. Let's hit that name with Josh Lipton and some details. Josh.
Sarah, Micron beating expectations, really seeing strength across the board here from data center to automotive. Analysts noting that demand is now outpacing supply in the DRAM market. That's driving improving pricing trends, they say. Stock rallying 130% over the past year. Separately, the Journal is reporting that Micron and Western Digital are exploring a potential deal for Kioxia for $30 billion. That's the Japanese chip company. SMH, by the way, now at more than 15% this year, closing out 6 straight months of gains yesterday. Back to you all.
Josh Lipton. Josh, thank you. It looks like it is the strongest S&P industry group right now in the market, up 3%. Steph, how does Micron look, and some of the other semi names as well? Caught in the crosshairs of this whole supply chain issue, shortage. We know the White House is pretty focused on it and is having a meeting on it as well.
Yeah. Within technology, I'm very overweight semis and semi-cap equipment for this exact reason. Micron's numbers were outstanding. They talked about tightness in DRAM. NAND hasn't even really started to see an improvement, and that's coming in the second half of the year. I own Lam Research, I own NXPI, I own Broadcom. The bigger news to me was TSMC putting in $100 billion to expand capacity over the next 3 years. This is on top of $28 billion that they're going to put in this year alone, and on top of Intel's $20 billion plan in terms of expansion, and Samsung over the next decade, $116 billion in terms of capacity expansion. We're going to have a lot of this stuff at some point. It's going to get to be a glut, but for now, it's a function of better demand and also the shortages in supply. We know the auto industry, for example, they are going to lose $60 billion because of the shortages of supply this year alone. So they've got to get it back going. I thought the CEO's comments from TSMC was very interesting in terms of them being over 100% utilization rates. So it's going to take time, but these are why you want to own some of these other supply chain names based off this news.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.